All right, guys, moving on. Okay, so you should already have your slab rolled out and cut out however you want. Make sure that it's nice and flat. Remember what I went over the troubleshooting with your slab base. If it's starting to warp at all or anything like that, you want to put some books on it. Okay, but if you're good to go, you've got your hole, then we can move on. Okay, so now we're going to attach our mask. You do not need the armature anymore, so this can be tossed now. It should be a little bit set up. If it's really kind of wet and mushy, then you may want to kind of hold off on this. Okay, and make sure that you position it in the middle. So you're going to need to kind of stand up, figure out where you want it, make sure it's even on both sides, make sure that the hole is kind of at the top. So I'll hold this up so you can kind of see. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's kind of where I want it. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to take a tool and just kind of trace the outside edge. Just lightly, not real deep or anything like that. Okay, and I can move my mask off to the side. Be careful of your canvas wrinkling. Sometimes that'll mess up your piece on the back. All right, so now, actually I'm gonna take my fork and get a little of this slip, and I'm just going to score really well in here, all the way around. And it is important that you really score into the clay. Don't just kind of barely touch it. That's not enough. This is a heavy piece, and if we don't score it well, it's not going to attach. Okay, again, make sure that you get some of that slip, not just water. We need some of that glue in there. My fingers to get a little bit. So again, I want to make sure that I get some of that slip on there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we need to actually score the back of the face too. Okay, so all around the edges, same thing. Now make sure that yours is all nice and smooth on the inside, that you've hollowed it out really well. I haven't completely smoothed mine out, so I should probably work on it some more. But I want to show you guys how to do this. Okay. All right, so now we can flip this over. And we just want to kind of push it on there really well. So I'm pushing down a little bit. Okay. Let's back it up a little bit. Okay. So it's centered. It's all good. All right, so just kind of use your finger and smush around the edge. You can smear out any excess scoring that you did. And then really important here is we want to make a nice coil all the way around, or most of it. Okay, so if you wanted to leave the top, that's okay. But other than that, you want most of it to have a nice coil. So, you know, maybe just a little bit smaller than your thumb or around the size of your thumb. And really important here is make sure that you really push it in. So I'm really pushing in because I don't want to encase an air bubble in between my coil and my mask. If I do, it's going to blow off, and that's not going to be good. Okay, so I'm going to completely smear that out. Now, if you did happen to want to put plants in this, you want to make sure that you put a hole down at the bottom here for the water to get out. And it could be small, just like a little poke of the needle hole. And it's caving in just a little bit, so I'm going to put my fingers in there. If yours is doing that, you probably didn't let it set up enough, and I just put that jaw on, so that's one of the reasons. Okay, so I'll go all the way around, okay, and then kind of let this set up, and then if you have hair or anything like that, you can do that. Okay, so the big thing with this is make sure that it's much smoother than what I have, but putting the slab or putting the face onto the back, that's how you're going to want to do it. All right, good luck, guys.